Chingona history. When I was growing up, a chingona was the last thing a good little Mexican girl wanted to be called. I didn't understand what the word meant. I just knew you didn't want to get called it. Like girls and women in many cultures, Latinas are often told a version of calladita te ves más bonita, or you look prettier with your mouth shut. Not that I ever kept my mouth shut, ergo, why I was often called a chingona. The fear of getting called chingona was used to keep good little Latina girls doing good little Latina girl things. Chingona is a derogatory or vulgar term for a woman who is too aggressive or difficult or out of control. It has a masculine version, chingon, which is often used as a compliment. So when I was called a chingona, I knew it did not mean the same thing as when my male cousin was told he was a chingon. To be a chingon, at least in many circles, means you are the good kind of badass, a guy worthy of respect. To be a woman or a girl, though, who is considered a chingona, now that was a different story. Although there is debate about the etymology of the word chingar, from which chingona and similar words derive, one thing is clear: it has violent, colonial, and patriarchal roots. The first people referred to as hijos de la chingada, literally translated children of the fuck or sons of the raped woman, were the mestizo children born to indigenous women who had been raped by Spanish colonizers. The original chingada is sometimes considered to be La Malinche, a Nahuatl woman from the Gulf Coast and a prominent figure in Mexican history. La Malinche was forced to work alongside the Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés as a translator. She had been offered as a gift alongside other valuable objects, including other women, first to Mayan and then to Aztec leaders, before she was either sold or given to Cortés. She knew both Maya Yucateca and Nahuatl, the two major languages in the region at that time. This made her a prized asset for the Spaniards. Due to La Malinche's key role in facilitating colonization, her life is well documented. She's credited with giving birth to Martín Cortés, who is considered to be one of the first mestizos, or people of mixed indigenous and Spanish ancestry. La Malinche has thus come to be known as the mother of the first mestizo. Her son, sometimes considered the first Mexican, was also the first hijo de la chingada, the first chingon. So being called a chingon or chingona still holds those colonial and patriarchal insinuations that you're acting like a parentless, or more specifically, a fatherless child. It's like how bastard in English has come to refer to someone with no manners, someone who is difficult or improper. This is how mestizo children were seen by the Spaniards. To be called a chingona is to be considered an unclaimed person. A chingona is a brown woman who needs to be conquered, someone who is growing up to become an unruly woman. To be called a chingona means your whole existence is being called into question, especially when your own father or mother says it to you. It feels like you're being disowned, that you're no longer considered a part of the family due to whatever disagreeable behavior you're exhibiting. Although I did not know the historical and violent roots of the word as a child, I instinctively felt that the word chingona was meant to keep me and other girls and women in our place. It was intended to remind us that we might as well be disowned children, like the first mestizos. When I first set out to write and publish this book, I was tired of feeling that way. Disowned, unloved, like a real hija de la chingada. I was barely holding on. I had just come out of several tumultuous years of healing and growth. I was searching for meaning and purpose in a life that felt empty and inconsequential. I think we all search for meaning and purpose at different points in our lives. We try to understand our roles with ourselves and each other. For me, those painful years mostly brought confusion. I had been wrestling with existential questions. Why am I here, and for what? I was feeling of little importance. In fact, I was feeling the same way that being called a chingona as a child made me feel. I had recently finished my doctorate in education. I like to joke that I have a doctorate in learning about learning. And while I did earn a doctorate,